Hey everybody! First off in today's video, we're going to talk about the Steef. Let's do this! The Steef is a legendary breed of centaur-like creatures native to western Mudos. The Steef's lower body has 4 legs and 4 cloven-hooved feet. Covered in fur, they have defined upper bodies, and with their powerful forearms, Steef are able to run at speeds up to 45 miles an hour. Their face, almost feline in nature, with large twisting horns, small ears with sensitive hearing, and mouths that bear dagger-like fangs. Steef were once a proud people, roaming Mudos in herds. They took a liking to the tribal grubs, who could barely defend themselves. Thus some Steef would act as guardians and protect their villages. This led to the grub's spirituality and increased praise for the mighty Steef warriors. Often seen within the various grub cave paintings throughout western Mudos are depictions of the heroic Steef defending them and their land. Grubs heavily relied on the protection the Steef provided from the hostile, intrusive races such as the clackers and outlaws. But with fewer and fewer Steef left in the wild, the grubs are left vulnerable, forced away from their villages and the river, often being killed for even going near it. Steef have become a popular trophy animal for hunters from Oddworld's industrial races due to their rarity and high value. Very few remain, and they are now on the verge of extinction. One of these mighty warriors continued to watch over one of the few remaining grub villages, but after mysteriously disappearing, grubs believe their protector to have been killed by a demon called Secto. Secto is an octoguy who has taken an unknown personal interest in Steef. Owner of Secto Springs Bottled Water Company, Secto holds the largest collection of Steef mounts and handsomely rewards hunters who bring him their heads. Soon this would be brought to the attention of a mysterious bounty hunter called the Stranger. Some say he's from the river, some say he's from the mountains. Stranger's origins are mostly unknown. Living a nomadic life, over his many years as a bounty hunter, he has acquired numerous skills. Stranger has learned to easily adapt to any situation, his greatest strengths being his cunning, wit, and quiet intimidation. Hiding his face under his sun-bleached hat, he maintains an emotional distance from everyone he encounters, as to hide his true past and identity. The symbols on his faded poncho are evidence of his rich culture. Underneath his cool exterior dwells feral strength. Muscular and powerful, he is a serious force to be reckoned with. With a distaste for guns, Stranger wields a rapid-fire double-barreled crossbow, literally shooting live ammo consisting of small, ferocious creatures such as zapflies, fuzzles, thud slugs, boom bats, chipmunks, skunks, bolamites, and sting bees. Lightweight, durable, and silent for maximum stealth, this intricate self-crafted wrist-mounted bow is yet another symbol of his long-lost heritage.
Never liked guns.
It's clear that Stranger has a shadowy past. A loner and a recluse, more comfortable in the dark swamps and forests of Mongo Valley than in the cities populated with invasive colonials. Though his main concern is his own survival, he's not above helping the dim-witted townsfolk.
Hey, I got an idea. Why don't we get ourselves a fine meal of pork and beans?
Oh, come on, Billy Hole. We just had that for breakfast and lunch.
Seeking help from the doc, a Viker who is settled in western Mudos, Stranger needs an expensive operation that he claims is necessary for his survival. When Doc informs Stranger that the surgery will cost him 20,000 moolah, Stranger begins taking up more profitable and in turn more dangerous bounties, rounding up infamous criminals from Buzzerton to New York City. While in the town of Buzzerton, Stranger is informed that the mighty Secto is paying top dollar for Steef. Stranger claims that he might know where to find one and sets his price at 20,000 moolah for a fresh head. Secto agrees, but simultaneously tasks notorious outlaw boss D-Cast Raider with finding the rare Steef first. Believing there to be no Steef left in the area, Raider begins to track Stranger, in hopes of being led to the rare creature. After rounding up all the bounties, Stranger makes his way to the Doc's Mongo Valley retreat, where he finds the Doc strung up and is quickly ambushed. When Stranger regains consciousness, he finds himself bound and surrounded, and quickly his darkest secret is revealed to all. Stranger is himself a Steef, wearing a disguise to prolong his survival as he is potentially one of the last remaining of his kind. Hiding his hoofed hind legs in his boots, Stranger hoped to permanently conceal his identity by removing his hindquarters through Doc's expensive surgical procedure. Just as Raider commands his gang to skin Stranger, he is freed in a raid by Grub natives and escapes through the town of Dusky Hollow. With his identity exposed, Stranger concludes that his only option is to go to Secto Springs himself and confront its owner. When he stumbles upon the Grub Temple, he is met with praise by the natives who now see him as their prophetic protector. The Grubs plead for Stranger to help regain their lost villages and free the water to which they have been restricted access. They gift Stranger with the Elder Steef's armor and offer him the Great Steef boat, which lies in a hidden waterfall cave beyond the Wolvark facility. After making his way through the swarming facility to the Steef boat and protecting the native temple from invaders, the Grub leader bestows Stranger with their best armor, and he journeys to their last remaining city, known as Last Legs. There he repels the Wolvark gangs and rallies the Grub forces to aid in the attack on Secto Springs Dam. As the natives pummel the concrete structure with flaming boulders launched from their catapults, Stranger makes his way up to Secto's office. Bashing his way through the evil CEO's forces and massive pet Gloctagai, after a grueling battle in the midst of the collapsing dam, Stranger defeats the twin Gloctagai and destroys the generators on Secto's weaponry. Finally subduing the mad executive. As Stranger basks in his victory, the dam finally gives, but he's able to escape before the huge concrete barrier comes crumbling down. Releasing the mighty river subsequently destroys many of the Clackers' towns downstream, much to the delight of the rejoicing native Grubs. The Mongo River is free once again. As Stranger approaches Secto's body, he instead discovers the olden Steef who had recently vanished. Secto had been using his body, controlling him and draining his life force. Stranger and the natives comfort the olden Steef as he fades away. He can rest in peace knowing Stranger has taken the mantle as their new guardian. The water is free, but so remains Secto. Alright, that's all I have to say about that. I never really got to play Stranger back when it first came out on Xbox, so I recently bought the HD version for Nintendo Switch, and I had a blast playing it. Visually, it's beautiful, and it's pretty amazing how far it's come from the original. The gameplay is exciting and fast-moving, and at times extremely challenging. And of course, it's Oddworld, so the characters and storylines are incredibly unique and draw you in immediately. So anyway, if you're looking to go back and play Stranger's Wrath, I definitely recommend buying the Switch version and help out Oddworld a bit with that sweet, sweet moolah. Hope you liked the video. Be sure to subscribe and stay tuned for the next one.
You heard what the 5 fingers said to the face?
What?
Goodbye.